Good morning, everyone. This is Quincy, the Fashion Motivator, bringing you this video from Cousins Genealogical Research, LLC. So this morning, I kind of wanted to make a part 2 video to yesterday's video because I got some emails and I guess some beginner researchers wanted to find out some more tools that they could use to research their family history. So I want to kind of jump right into it. At the beginning of the video, you saw this book, The Slave Records of Edgefield County, South Carolina, by Gloria Ramsey Lucas. I did a video in the past about this book, but I didn't go into detail. So we're going to do a follow-up video on this book. But I wanted to briefly talk about the tools that I use to kind of trace my family's lineage. The first person that I really was curious about in my family was this guy right here, which is my great grandfather, Tasso Hopkins. He's my my mother's grandfather. So that's what really opened the door and got me started doing research. So some of the tools that I have been using throughout the years to research his history and others are like deeds, census records, maps, wills of estates, medical records, birth certificates, death certificates, Bibles. You know, old people, older folks would write their family's information like date of birth, deaths, weddings, all that stuff in the Bible. Notes, and on the back of pictures, I've contacted probate courts to get a lot of the deeds and wills of estates, also obituaries, and then I guess historical societies. Like, you can get a lot of information from historical societies, and yes, maps. Like, what do you mean there's information on maps? So the older the year of the map, typically it gives more information about a local area or territory that gives specific information about the ownership of the land. So in other words, back in the day when they did a map, they would do a map based upon like the person that owned like the property, and they would like list their names. So yesterday's video, I kind of talked a little bit about Colleton County, South Carolina. We were looking at the Mills Atlas map from 1825, which is where not Tasso's family, but my other side of the family, the Brooks side of the family, which branch off into the Fields, the Manigaults, the Glovers, the Mary family. It's a huge family that pretty much got broken up and separated. I don't know how. But they came from an area up here called Walterboro. Or Walter Barrows. And more specifically, they were in an area which I don't see on this map here, but I guess it would be indicated by the word Fishburne, which you see right there near Skull Creek. And so, again, this map is from 1825, and what it's basically showing me is that this Fishburne family owned the property around Skull Creek, which was also called the Round O area, which you'll see listed right here, Round O, South Carolina. Now, when I did my ancestry, when I had my father take his ancestry DNA test, he started matching third cousins with the last name Fishburne, the last name, let me see if I can find it, Lemix, which is there, Hoyts, I think I saw Hoyt somewhere, there it is, Hoyts right there. He also started matching people with the last name Utsi, Mary, and look at that, all of those, oh my goodness, there they are up there. And all, look at that. That is crazy. And so it's just very interesting when you Savage and other people, look, Savage is right here. There goes Hoyt again, and then there's Savage. Let me focus this. There goes Hoyt. I don't know if you can see it right there. So the reason I'm saying this is because a lot of people say that they can't find documentation of African American ancestors past the 1860 census. And what I would like to submit to everybody for your consideration is don't stop there. Some people call that a brick wall. I went all the way back to like 1780. And the way that I was able to do that, I'm going to switch it, is over here. These are, let me take these out. These are wills of estates and deeds from the area. Okay, I wish there was a date. I think this date, it says 18, you can't see it, but it says 1877 right there. Okay, so where a lot of, oh, actually, there's a better date up there, 1885. So where a lot of census records stop, and where a lot of other documents pretty much just are very vague, you have to dig a little harder. And when I say dig a little harder, contact probate courts. Once you have the surname that you believe your family was owned by or were closely related to, like all of my family from the Walter area and the Cottageville area, like these Hoyts and these Marys and the Fishburns and the Manigaults, the Ackermans, the Gatch family. Most of these people are Caucasian. And what I found out was that through the wills of estates and through the deeds and through old plantation records, my ancestors were listed as property by name. But that's not going to be, you know, like on the census record. You know, obviously, even on the 1850 and 1860 census records, all you get is like how many males and females with the age range on the census records. Don't stop there. And sometimes I feel like when we look at the Ancestry DNA test, we're like, oh, I don't recognize any of these people. And I always heard that we were mixed and we kind of just cut it off. No, I've reached out to every person that has one of these last names that are listed here, and I've asked them specifically, do you have any pictures of the property? Are there any old books that your ancestors may have left? You will find that a lot of them won't say it, but their family has donated a lot of those books and deeds and wills of estates and plantation journals to the closest historical society to the county. So like the South Carolina Historical Society on Meeting Street in Charleston has been an absolute blessing to me, because of course you have to purchase it, but you have to go on their website and look up the call number. But you just research that last name, and normally there are hundreds of lists of the actual slave names, nicknames, and from there, put together with the DNA research, you will find out who purchased and owned your family. In a lot of cases, like my family, the owner of the family, especially on the Ackerman, Gatch, Spell, Hoyt side of the family, they had relations with some of the slaves that they owned, the Dandridge family, and which would have been my great-great-great-grandmother. So she was mixed with African and whatever European mixture the slave owner was. And so that's what's showing up in our DNA. A lot of people don't want to recognize it, and a lot of people try to push it under the rug. But you don't really need to, per se, speak to those individuals. You can take an old map like this from 1825, and you can match up the surrounding areas that were owned by a specific family. Do your research on the family that owned the land. You can do a Google search, you know, search online and see what public information is available. And then the tax assessor for each county. The tax assessors A lot of them you can research on their website just putting the last name in, and you'll find out the different properties and the different plantations that were owned by different people. It's so, in our family, it's so, how do I say it, intermingled, because a lot of the people didn't leave the area, and they were like marrying third cousins, not just on the African side, but also on the European side as well. They were keeping like the blood clean or whatever. So, oh my goodness, I just found something. So the Bellinger family, which is here, you see that? I believe that was on my great-great-grandfather's side of the family, the Bellingers, next to the Witzels. And there's the Elliots, the Glovers. Remember I was saying that? And this is all from Jackson Barrel. And there goes Manigault. Look at that. Ha ha. I can't believe it. It's all here. So what am I going to do with this information? Now that I know where the property was located in St. Bartholomew's Parish, now that I know who owned the specific plot of land near the Pond River outside of Jacksonville, I am now going to go online to Ancestry.com. I'm going to put in the surname. I'm going to put an approximate year that I think that either the Elliott Glover owner was born, and I'm going to pull up the census records, which sometimes will take me to the deeds of estate. I can also go online and search the tax assessor's office for who owned the property along this specific river, and then I can also do a search at the Historical Society on their website. You can type in the last name or the county, and it'll pull up any and every record that has been donated to the Historical Society based upon that name. That is like I have gotten. When I tell you, you see all this research? This is like all of this research here. Some of it I can't share because it's confidential, but all of this stuff is from a map. Don't sleep on the power of maps. The power of maps will get you something like these. Some of these were given to me by my cousin as well. And so it's very important. Okay. So you got your maps. Before you get your older map, it's good to start with the Rhodes Atlas map. So the reason I say that is because obviously the older your map is, you are not going to be able to find some of these things on this map. Okay? So I always start with the up-to-date map, especially if I know Walter Barrow is the area, the general vicinity of Colleton County, or the Cottageville area that my family migrated from up north. So I get the general vicinity here. I look at the rivers, like the Ashipo River. I look at like the Sheldon area, and then I take all of that information and then I go to the older map. If you are a genealogist or if you are a starter researcher, it is very important that you get yourself a nice binder. Got a huge leather binder here. Okay? And it's very important that with your binder, that all of your maps that you have, that you start a collection of maps, even if you're in Virginia, like I'm going to do a video about the Virginia area. That's where a lot of my family's from. A lot of my family's from like Virginia, South Carolina, and Georgia. So for each of those areas, I have a map. And I purchased these maps. Some of these were expensive to get high quality copies. But I did it because it was vital to my research. So it's very important if you're starting out, get a map. Also, if you ever come across any books, like from your great aunts, cousins, or people that aren't interested, please go through those books. So I'm going to give you an example. So this book right here is from 1880. It's actually this guy's notebook. It was given to me by my cousin, and it was given to him by my great-grandmother, Willoughby, his daughter. See that glare a little bit. In this book, it had some vital information. Last week, I went up to New York to visit my great-aunt, and she gave me this book. This book also was his book. in this book, the Planters Register, his name, I don't know if you can see it, Tasso H. Hopkins was written in the book. And this is the one part of the county, Scriven County, Georgia. Okay, so now we're leaving from one side of the family was Walterboro, South Carolina, the low country there. The other part of my family is from Scriven County, Burke County, Millen, Georgia, like in that area. So that's where this is from. There was a place called Jenkins Mill there. Also in the book, I should have had it earmarked because I don't like flipping through like this. But in here was a list of all of my great aunts. You know what I mean? So, born, like my grandfather, Gus Sapp, was born 1893 in Scriven County, Georgia. So it just was a list there. So you never throw out old books. This is like really old information. You can get a lot of info there to start your search. So I just wanted to share that with you. And of course, with every person in my family, I have a binder. More certificates, death certificates, and just in this side of the family here, I have to give a shout out to everybody from Scriven County, Burke County, especially the Hiltonia area, Millen, Georgia, the Sardis, Burke County area. My family, they were or are the Hopkins, which married into the Sapps, which were related to the Coopers, the Chance family, the Lovett family, the Mobleys, or someone said they're called the Mobleys, the Kent family. Oh my goodness. So all of you guys from down there, hit me up. Okay, so again, today's video was to show you the power of maps and why it's important for you to have several copies, high quality copies of maps. So I believe the next video, I am going to go out on a limb here and say anyone that's doing research from the Colleton County area, I will be offering copies of maps, of this specific map. You have to purchase them, but you need to email me if you're interested in purchasing a copy of the map. So that's the map that you're looking at here. It is the Colleton County District Mills Atlas 1825 map. Grab a pen and paper because this is what you're going to need to do if you would like to receive a copy of the map. You need to email me at motivator4401@gmail.com. Again, that's motivator4401@gmail.com. Again, that's motivator4401@gmail.com. If you would like to receive a copy of the map, I will. Once I receive your email, I will let you know how much your copy will cost, the time frame that you will receive it, and the method of payment is probably going to be PayPal, which is that same email address, motivator4401@gmail.com, or some people just say motivator. And so it's just very important. So that was today's video, the power of maps. If anyone that is interested in having me help with their research projects, I have a lot of things going on, but I would love to assist everyone. I just believe that documentation beats conversation, and there are hundreds of thousands of documents that are available to all people that are looking to research their history. And sometimes you just got to be patient. I'm almost 40 years old, and I've been doing this since I was 16. I literally have boxes and boxes of things. Also, anyone that has a genealogical research convention or conference coming up and they would like to make a special appearance, or would like to book my services, please email me at motivator4401@gmail.com. Again, that's motivator4401@gmail.com. During the next video, we're going to be talking about the slave records of Edgefield County, South Carolina. I never can stay on topic because I get too excited. But that'll be the next video, prayerfully. And I may do a second video about the power of maps and the power of documentation. Also, like the video, please. Share the video. Please share the video. Like the video. Go to Cousins Genealogical Research, LLC, and like the page as well. And I'm looking forward to getting your map request. All right. Have an amazing day.